Hello, everyone. Today we are beginning with part 2 of the chapter Biomolecules. So, we already know with part 1 what we studied. Basically, we all know in the human body is composed of different types of cells, tissues, and other organs. So, for efficient functioning, our body releases some chemicals to accelerate biological processes such as like digestion, excretion, respiration, and other metabolic activities to sustain the healthy life. Hence, enzymes are playing a vital role in all the living entities which govern the biological processes. Right? So basically, what are enzymes? These can be defined as the biological polymers that catalyze the biochemical reactions. Correct? Now we move ahead with the topic that we stopped last time, that is factors affecting enzyme activity. Now, the enzyme activity can be affected by various other factors like temperature, pH, and concentration. Now, enzymes work best within specific temperature and some pH ranges. Okay, so let's go into the detail about how enzyme activate, with what particular factors are associated with this for enzyme activity. The first one, when we go with this temperature. Okay, now how does temperature affect the enzyme activity? Now, as with many chemical reactions, the rate of an enzyme catalyzed reaction increases as the temperature increases. Now, you can alter this by seeing the graph which has been represented here in the diagram. Okay, in the first slide itself. So, the rate of an enzyme catalyzed reaction increases as the temperature increases. So, however, at high temperatures, the rate decreases again because the enzyme becomes denatured and can no longer function. So basically, enzyme shows highest activity at optimum temperature and activity declines above and below the optimum value. Right? So this was the first factor for the enzyme activity, that is temperature. The second factor that I have to come across is the pH. Now pH, here what is the explanation is enzyme functions in a narrow range of pH. Right? Simple sentence explained. It is explained properly. The third one is concentration of substrate. Now the velocity of the enzymatic reaction rises with increases in substrate concentration. So basically the speed of the enzyme reaction, it increases, right, till it reaches the maximum velocity, that is Vmax, we term it as. So further increase of substrate does not increase the rate of reaction. As so, no free enzyme molecules are available to kind with additional substrate. So to increase of substrate does not increase the rate of reaction, as no free enzyme molecules are available to bind with the additional substrate. Okay, so the three factors are what? Temperature, pH, and concentration of substrate. Now let's move to the next topic, that is enzyme inhibition. Now enzyme inhibition is what? It refers to a decrease in enzyme related processes, enzyme production or enzyme activity. Okay, so when the binding of a chemical shuts off the enzyme activity, the process is called as inhibition. Now what causes enzyme inhibition is by binding to the enzyme, the active sites, inhibitors reduce the compatibility of substrate and the enzyme, and this leads to inhibition of enzyme substrate complexes. Okay, now the types of enzyme inhibition are three. Okay, now like there are three kinds of reversible inhibitors. You can basically state it in this way. One is competitive, second is non-competitive, and third one is uncompetitive inhibitors. Okay. Now, competitive inhibitors, as the name suggests, compete with substrates to bind to the enzymes at the same time. The inhibitor has an affinity for the active site of an enzyme where the substrate also binds to. Okay, so competitive inhibition is kind of an interruption of a chemical pathway that can owe to one chemical substance inhibiting the effect of another by competing with it for binding or for bonding. Okay, so basically we learned about enzyme inhibition and we learned about competitive inhibition. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. Now that we learned about the factors affecting enzyme activity, we learned about the inhibitors associated with the enzymes. Now we need to learn about the classification of enzyme, which is important, utmost important in this chapter. Now, basically, enzymes are classified into 6 categories, depending on the type of reaction they are catalyzed. So, the first one is known as oxidoreductase. Okay. Second is transferases. Third is hydrolases. Fourth, lyases. Fifth, ligases. And sixth, isomerases. Okay, so let's go into the detail about all the 6 categories of enzymes. The first one, oxidoreductase. Now, the enzyme oxidoreductase catalyzes the oxidation reaction where the electrons tend to travel from one form of a molecule to the other. So, catalyze reduction between two substrate. Okay, in short language, if you have to say, explain. Second is transferases. Now, this help in the transportation of the functional group among acceptors and donor molecules. So, they catalyze transfer of a group between a pair of substrate. Third, hydrolases. They are hydrolytic enzymes which catalyze the hydrolysis reaction by adding water. Okay, by adding water to the cleave, the bond and the hydrolyse. Okay, so they catalyze hydrolysis of ester, ether, peptide, etc. The fourth one that I have to talk about is lyases. This enzyme adds water, carbon dioxide or ammonia across double bonds, or they also eliminate these to create the double bonds. So they catalyze removal of groups from substrate by mechanisms other than hydrolysis. Fifth one is isomerases. Now, these enzymes catalyze the structural shifts present in the molecule, thus causing the change in the shape of the molecule. So basically, they catalyze the interconversion of optical, geometrical, or positional isomers. The last one, ligases. The ligases enzymes are known to charge the catalysis of ligation process. So they catalyze linking together of two compounds. So I hope you understood all the 6 types of enzymes as we stated. The first one is oxidoreductases, second is transferases, then hydrolases, lyases, isomerases and ligases. So I hope you understood part 2 of chapter biomolecules. Kindly go through it thoroughly, study well. Thank you so much.